everyone, Soundwave8084 here. In this comparison time review, what we're going to do is take a look at the Autobot Legacy United 5-pack that has the Studio Series Hound, or the G1 Hound in it. And I'm just going to do a big comparison video with each character with their previous release. So it's going to be a long video, so what I'm going to do down below is I'm going to break it into chapters. I'm going to do each figure separate, and I'm just going to do it in one long video. I couldn't make separate videos based on each character in here, but I thought one long video would be probably the best way to go, and let you choose your own little chapter breaks for which characters you want to see. I'm going to start off with the one everybody's probably wanting to see, and that will be Hound. Then I'll move on from there. I'm not sure the next order I will go. Probably Hound, Sunstreaker, and then probably Wheeljack and Jazz and TRAILBREAKER. But it'll be down below in the chapters. You can just woo to whichever one you want. So this is the 5-pack box. First, we're gonna do the boxing thing at one. You get the big like Generation Slicks type box. You have each character here: Jazz, Sunstreaker, TRAILBREAKER, Wheeljack, and Autobot Hound. Now it opens up. It has the little tape. Come on. I open the box up, and you get the little schematics and stuff. We get the characters on the inside. They are strapped down with some plastic ties. You also get a really huge instruction booklet, your handy dandy instructions. And one side will give you, I think it's Wheeljack and Hound on one side. The other side will give you Sunstreaker, Jazz, and TRAILBREAKER. They put all the characters on one big ass booklet here, so that's that. Well, we don't really need that. In this video, I'll probably not show the transformations because we've seen all these figures already before. This Hound is actually based on the Legacy Evolution Detritus, so we've already seen that as well. It transfers pretty much just like the Siege Hound. It's very similar in that. TRAILBREAKER, Sunstreaker, I think, or Wheeljack. I think we got all those in Earthrise. Wheeljack could have been Kingdom, I'm not positive. And Jazz, we've got that in Studio Series 86 already. So we've already done transformation of those guys. So I'm going to skip that. Now I'll make the little chapters shorter. This is comparison robot mode. And we're going to compare them in vehicle mode. And we do notice here that Sunstreaker and Wheeljack did get some rifles, some extra weapons. And the thing is, that is just weapons that came with Minerva, or it came here with Autobot Medics. It's just these guns here. And then just reusing those in different color of plastic. So let's get over to my review table and take a look first at G1 Hound. Alright, so like I said, first up is Hound. He's going more for that G1 animation look. So first thing I'm going to do is just compare him with his G1 animation model. Man, this is pretty close. The arms, the shoulders, I've never been really right on any of these figures. According to the animation model, his shoulders need to be way down low. But I prefer this. It gives him a little more beefy, bulkier look. Head sculpt on the G1 Hound, or this Hound here. It's nice. If you got Detritus, you know what you got right here, because it's exactly the same. But this is a good head sculpt for a Hound. Got blue painted eyes in there. You got the like lime or kiwi kind of color green going on there. Same on his engine. Right here on the sides, star, Autobot insignia. You got this goldish yellow paint, orangish yellow paint here on the arms. Also right here on the waist. Down here you got some gray paint or silver paint on his back side. Now the green here does look a little bit different on this piece here. It stands out just a little bit more than say right here. And the same goes for the gun. You can see the greens don't fully match. It's not something you really notice too much in hand. The camera really does show up the differences here, but like in person, it's not that big a difference. But that's because this is molded in this gray plastic and then just painted green. And this back here for the windshield is actually molded in this gray plastic and then painted green and blue. So that's why you have the differences you do in the green. So it's not all just green plastic. You do have some painted green on the figure. So it does make a few differences. And you take the weapons, I'm going to put it over here. And you get his gun here, which does support blast effects. And either hand, I think the box art shows it in his left hand. Oops, something just came right on out of the figure. Okay. So that is your Hound. We'll do a comparison. We'll slide in Siege Hound. Both are very nice Hounds. I have no complaints. If you want to stick with the Siege Hound, it's still a very good Hound. It's like a futuristic looking Earth mode still. It's not really too Cybertron to me, but you do get the battle damage. You get a little more silver in there, a little more blacks. He's got a darker green. a little more, I say, a little more paint apps on this figure. They do share some parts. I reuse some pieces. The transformation is exactly the same, pretty much. So on the Siege Hound, you have this little backpack. You have to flip and unfold. You don't have that on this Hound here. Now, they do share the same feet. They share the same thighs and knees. Arms are exactly the same. So you share those, and they share the same back pieces on the torso. The little gap here. You'll really see it when you get into it, but you can see it right there. So I do share some mold pieces, so it's not all brand new molding. And we'll bring in the D-Man along with them. So the Hound is nice. I really do like it. It gives you that G1 look. It's a good Hound. Oh, that Siege fell over. We'll go over some articulation, which we probably would know if you have the other guy. You get your shoulders to there, your bicep swivels, 360 around. You get wrist swivels as well. You get a little about 90-degree elbow bends, 360 waist swivels, of course. Kick forward, kick back, shrapnel. No, you get good knee bends. Ankle tilts for days. That's for transformation. Head. You got this back piece back here. It kind of gets in your way, so there's no up, no down. And you can just go side to side. So about there and to there. So that is your articulation here on Transformers Legacy United Hound. A lot of people call Studio Series 86 because these are more or less painted to look like they did in the cartoon. So now it's transform. Like I said, I'm not going to show the transformations. I will show this guy off in vehicle mode and compare him with Siege Hound and the D-Man. Alright, so with Hound in vehicle mode, there's accessories attached. Now the camera does pick up the difference in the green plastics. Now that's not something I noticed in hand. This is something my camera really does notice, and picks it up and makes it noticeable. In hand, I didn't notice it until I got behind the camera. Now I can look at it and like, yeah, this is a little more like glossy looking, whereas this isn't right here. Oh, it's not that bad. You got some lime green hubcaps here. You can see the hands, but that's same. You can see the hands on the Siege version as well. To the back side. Kind of wish it was filled in a little bit more in the back. I don't really like the big gap back here. That's probably my biggest negative on this mold. And I had the same complaint because the Detritus is the same. So look at them. There you go. We'll bring in Siege Hound. I don't have the accessories on my Siege Hound. My Siege Hound has had upgrade kits that I reviewed before. I'm using this guy. Now he's more of a dark hunter green, and he has a more rough and tumble look. It's supposed to be Cybertronian. To me, this is like a futuristic, rugged Earth mode. It doesn't really look too Cybertronian to me, but Siege is always pretty cool. And they did, it did have that sort of gappy problem too. It wasn't as bad because you had this big back here, so it's sort of filled in. But we got more paint on the tail lights here on the side. But with the this trying to go more for the animation. They kind of exclude that sometimes. So that's your comparison between these two. And I'll just do a comparison here with the cartoon animation model. Bringing in next, we're going to have Sunstreaker here. First thing I'm going to do, comparing to his animation model. Not exactly perfect, but they did try to nail some sort of parts, especially the gray on his shoulders. Should be a little more reversed and a little bit higher. Now, the gun here is actually the gun that comes with Minerva or Medics, the Walgreens exclusives. They actually gave both those weapons, and you can give one to Wheeljack, one to Sunstreaker, but at least they get a new weapon so you can keep the other pieces on their shoulders or on their backs. So this Wheeljack, this Sunstreaker is very nice. I got this guy and I opened him up. I was like, I just love this Sunstreaker a lot more than the previous Earthrise version. So we'll bring that right on in so you can see all the differences right here. This is actually molded in this gray plastic, and the yellow here is painted. So that is painted yellow. It doesn't quite match. It's a little bit brighter than that. The camera actually makes it look better than it does in person. And still, even in person, it's not that bad. You get a little extra gray paint here on the top. You see the blues here. More animation. They take all this translucent plastic and they jettison it out so you don't have the mismatched yellows. You get more of this orangish yellow here going on. Instead of being black on the arms and stuff in the head, we get this dark, like gunmetal gray kind of plastic, and you get that right here for the bumpers, and even the tires are molded in that as well. And here you get silver on the sides. I think it's supposed to sort of form the back spoiler that you would have on Sunstreaker, but he doesn't really have a spoiler. You see the piece here. It's pretty much exactly the same, still painted in silver. And I do change up his back. Take this off. He actually has this dark gray paint going up the back. Whereas here, it is all yellow. So that's one thing they did change on the back side here. Sunstreaker also here having it being yellow on the sides and the little black trim and yellow. This is all fully gray and then silver. So that is your differences here on Sunstreaker. And if you have both figures and you take these off, you always tell the difference because the Earthrise is molded in black, whereas the new Legacy United is molded in the dark gray. Now these little black specks here on top of my Sunstreaker are actually from an upgrade kit I reviewed a long time ago. They're just wedged in there and I can't pull them out with my fingers. I'll have to use a tool. I didn't get it out before this review because why not? It's fine to leave them in. I do like the fact that he's got a gun. The head does change a little bit in here in comparison. They take away that little black chin. And this looks more like an Omnigonix head. This looks a little more like the Tomb with the sort of the whitish off-white face in there. He's got more of a baby blue painted eyes, whereas he's got more of the deep blue, like sea blue. And then of course he's got the orangish yellow paint, where here's the straight yellow. And showing them off next to Kingdom Sideswipe, so you can get the Lambo Bros together and see how they look. Now Sideswipe still has the translucent plastics. Like I said, I'm not going to transform it. Let's compare them in vehicle mode. And with Sunstreaker in vehicle mode, comparison here with the Earthrise, we get the Legacy United, and we have Sideswipe here just to show him off. And yes, but Sideswipe does have upgrades on the back to give him a spoiler. So look at the Lambros together. And in comparison here with the Earthrise, you see the translucent blue versus the baby blue. Now, some good translucent blue plastic is beautiful, but it is with the yellows mismatching. I think overall this looks better here because it's more uniform in color. I just think overall that just looks a lot better. I like the Autobot logo here in the front as well. Turn the back, you can see how they did the paint here to make the back of the car. I'll show it off here next to the animation model. Now I do have a problem on mine wanting the tires to roll. These are very stiff, like tight back here. They don't want to spin very freely. The front ones I don't have a problem with, but he doesn't roll very well. It just slides on the back tires. Whereas my Earthrise has no problem rolling. So that's the only problem I got here on this Sunstreaker. Otherwise, I think it's a thing of beauty. I do like the more uniform look overall against the mismatched look. So to me, a great improvement. Alright, moving on to Legacy United Wheeljack again. Throwing him in the animation colors. I'll pull him over here and show him off next to his G1 animation model. You're pretty close. The robot mode here is going to be the winner because the vehicle mode, when you get to that, it's going to look kind of plain Jane. Needs some more paint apps, but it is still close to the animation model, and that is why it looks that way. So we'll take a quick look here at the head sculpt. Get this gray paint here. It's molded in this dark gray plastic. Then you get this light gray painted on that. And we've got the more of a deep blue eyes going on there. How about logo, green paint, blue paint, green paint. Got some of that gray paint again here. Got gray plastic. It's going to be a little bit different. He did get a gun this time, a rifle. This again is from Minerva or Medics. He's got his little wings on the back, and you have his shoulder cannon, which in the original Earthrise, that's all you got was that right there. And you either can hold it as a rifle or stick it in his shoulder. But you really need to have two, because that's just how Wheeljack is. This isn't really one Wheeljack, but it's there anyway. On the back side, pretty much all just straight white here in the back. Do a comparison here. We'll bring in the Earthrise version, which is more of a off-white coloring, more of a dirty white, I call it. He's got black plastic here and there on the thighs, so the dark gray. And we have a darker, like a black tint here for the translucent plastic for the windshield of the car. Whereas here we get the baby blue paint, which also is going to be in here, which transforms out to form the front of the windshield. And here we have it in the translucent black. This does have upgrade kits. You know, my channel, I used to review, and I still review some, a lot of upgrade kits. So I've got the longer wings, a different shoulder cannon, different gun. It forms a different spoiler on the back, and it has a gap fillers you fill in. And you can leave those on in transformation too, but they do pop off pretty easily though. So that is filler. I believe it's Go Better Studios for some of that, and I believe the shoulder cannon here is from Non-F Productions, and so is that, I believe, the gun here. So that's going to be your big differences here on Wheeljack. This head sculpt, though, you got silver paint on the face that's molded in black plastic. So which head sculpt do you prefer? I kind of prefer this one here because, again, it's more animation, but I do like both. No complaints. I do like the cleaner look of this one. I never care for the dirty white on this figure. I do like this white here. But on the back side, you can tell where you get a lot more color on the Earthrise with the greens and the reds. And also you got red hubcaps, where this one you just got silver on this figure here, and you see you get more colors even down here on the bottom of the feet. And yes, the upgrade kits can work on this Wheeljack. It's just the colors are not going to match. Now the shoulder cannon can work, the gun can work, the wings can work, but the wings are attached to the spoiler here, and the spoiler is going to be more of that off-white color, and it's going to look a little awkward. I'm sure these companies will make a straight white version to go with these Legacy United ones. Alright, Wheeljack in his alt mode next to the Earthrise version. This is just really personal preference, whichever version you like the most here. Actually, in vehicle mode, I think this was straight white like this one, but had all the colorings. I might actually prefer the look of this over this one, but it's got the baby blue. I think it's kind of, it just looks so plain. But it is, you know, closer to animation. I don't really like the way the front windshields form on this this molding of Wheeljack, but overall I do like the car mode. But you see the difference here. With being like mostly white, it just looks cheap. It's not cheap. It's the same as this guy here. I do have upgrade kits here that you plug these little red things, give them tail lights. They would look really good on this Wheeljack because it would break up all the monotony of the white in the back. You would get the red tail lights. You see here they have like, you know, the dark gray plastic and stuff there painted, like the paint there. So that looks a lot better on this figure. And there's a slight mismatch of coloring here because this is white paint, because actually this gray plastic. You don't really notice it. You don't notice in robot mode at all because on the back side of the hands, so you turn to the side. And here it's on the sides, but you know, in person it's not as noticeable as it is on the camera. But even this one has that same effect because they had to paint that, so it's even more of a yellowish white here than it is on the rest of the figure. So there's your Wheeljack. We'll just show it off here with the animation model. Overall, a nice Wheeljack. Still one of my favorite characters. I do like this mold of him. I still think the robot mode is the best part of this figure. Now let's move on to TRAILBREAKER. Alright, so Legacy United TRAILBREAKER out of the box, out of the packaging. I've already talked about this guy before because we had the leaked photos of him. I do really like the overall look of this one, I think, better than what we got in Earthrise. Instead of being more of a dark black, he's more of a gray everywhere. Got the baby blue painted plastic. I can't talk. Painted plastic here. Now this here is a weapon you can put on either hand. Just, you know, pegs in like a weapon, but covers overall to try to give him that look he had with the, you know, the missile hand he has in the animation, because the toys had that as well, and the animation just gave him that. I think it's actually supposed to be in his left hand, not his right. Turn to the back side. We get the old coloring here. A lot of red plastic going on. I mean, he looks a good figure. I do like him. Let's bring in the Earthrise. Let's show him off. Big differences here in the colorations of the black to the gray. Autobot insignia here has the white trim. No white trim on this. This is more silver, where here is this you know, gray coloring. The reds, I want to say they seem to be the same. I think they're just slightly brighter on this TRAILBREAKER here on the plastics. The grays seem to be about the same. This actually might be like more of a dull gray. This is a little bit more of a brighter gray. He's got like a deeper blue for the eyes. It's more of a baby blue, sky blue paint here. This cannon here piece is black plastic, and this is this gray plastic that's on his legs. Whereas this is, I believe, painted. Because this is this gray plastic. But how this is painted here, I believe these are painted, because I think it's molded in this gray plastic and then painted this color. So at least this piece is. This piece might not be. No, I think it's painted too. A little bit harder to tell, but I think it's painted as well. So as it's painted here. So TRAILBREAKER looks really good. Turn him to the back side, show him off. You see more of the baby blue. Compared to this, he had dark black translucent plastic here. It might be blue, just against all the black, it just comes out color. It's really hard to tell in my lighting. It might actually be like a dark blue coloring for that. Comparing with his animation model, he is going to be slightly different because of the back of the arms. These are more like hoist arms than they are TRAILBREAKER arms in the back with a piece hanging off. TRAILBREAKER had that in his toy, But in the animation model, they just made it more one solid piece, whereas Hoist kept more of the toy look. It had that hanging off. But they were going to reuse these two molds for the same characters, just like the G1 toys. Alright, look at TRAILBREAKER in his vehicle mode. Just compare it with his cartoon animation model. It's pretty close. He's got the colors down pat, the grays. Everything you saw in remote mode, you now see in vehicle mode. Just had the visible hand syndrome. Take that off. A comparison, slid him right on in. With Earthrise TRAILBREAKER, he is probably a little more closer to the actual toy in looks. Now, he has this bright silver on the hubcaps and back here because these are like snapped on the opposite way. It's still silver. This is still got that gray, the silver here. This is not as bright or as much on this, but it is still there. It's hard to see, but it is there. You got the paint here on the front, sides. At least we got the windows all the way around. Blue, 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 blue. Got blue up top. Whereas this, we just got this in the front, and then it's just really nothing around it. There's spots for it, but it's just there. We do get red taillights here. We do also get it on this figure as well. And you can see here that the blacks don't fully match. We get black, black. Then here we get this like chocolate black. It's like, you know, it's like candy. Whereas this is actually like black. You know, it's a little bit different there. So we get more silver. The translucent headlights kind of come through here. This is all molded. Again, taking the translucent plastic, jettison that crap right on out. So your fear of breaking it or cracking it is not as high. Of course, plastic is still kind of thin, so be aware. Alright, Legacy United Jazz. Really, Studio Series 86 Jazz redone, because he's really the only one that came out first under the Studio Series label. It comes with his weapon here. The same gun he comes with in Studio Series 86 version. Everything's pretty much the same. Again, they just took the translucent plastic, jettisoned that stuff. They added a little more color to him, like down here on the legs. And he's got the striping that he did not have on the Studio Series 86 version. Also has a little more blue paint going up to the top. The blues don't quite match. This is more of a baby blue. It's more of a deeper blue. Got the baby blue paints going on here and here as well. As this eye band is more baby blue. Back. See, the blue comes all the way around. We'll do a quick comparison here with his animation model. And we'll bring in Studio Series 86 Jazz. Biggest difference is right off the bat. This is silver plastic. This is just gray. I mean, silver paint. This is gray paint. So that's the big difference there. Also, he's got a deeper blue on his paint here. More of a baby blue here on the crotch on this one. Again, the stripings you have on this one, you don't get on the other one. Also, the eye band here is more baby blue, whereas the new Legacy United, we get a little bit deeper blue. Also, Autobot logo does not have the white trim. It's also a little bit bigger. The blue paint comes up to the top. So that's your big difference here on the looking straight ahead on the bot. Again, also the silver paint here. Anything that was silver paint on the Studio Series 86 has now been done to this gray paint here. Turn to the back side. He's leaning back. You can see the coloring here. They thinned out the red stripe and carry the blue paint up here to the top as well. And again, this had that light blue translucent plastic. Now it is actually painted baby blue with a black strip here. We did have the black strip on this one as well. It's a little bit thicker on this, little sunshade. So overall, Jazz, pretty much the same. Again, they just changed off the translucent plastics, changed it some blue, gave it a little more paint. Some of the paint apps are different. The exact same figure. Comes with the exact same gun as well. Painted silver again. This time they actually painted the little nubs on the side instead of leaving it white. They painted them up right here. So we'll take a look at Jazz in his vehicle mode. Alright, with Jazz in vehicle mode, the first thing I'm going to do is compare him with his animation model. I'm going to bring in the Studio Series 86. Let you determine which one you think looks better. You can see this big differences here. Get them fixed there. Going to be, of course, the translucent windshields to painted, which I think gives it a more uniform look. But honestly, I think I prefer the translucent windows for the vehicle mode here. Get the same numbers on the side, but you do get the extra striping here on the back wheels. The blue seems to be a little bit more darker on the Legacy United, and the red stripe is a lot thinner. Of course, on the Autobot Insignia, you just get that's got the white trim. This one does not. It's also a lot bigger. The Studio Series 86 has this silver paint here on the front bumper, whereas this does not. Wheels are the same. The paint, I think, is still exactly the same. Silver. Turn the back side. The biggest difference here is where the feet are. You know, we get the silver paint here. Here we get this gray paint, and of course you can see the striping here. Now on the back spoiler, we get this little black trim on the Legacy United, where we don't get that on the Studio Series 86. So those are your biggest differences here in vehicle mode. And honestly, I think I prefer the Studio Series 86. I just kind of wish we could change it up and maybe put this striping here on that. I'm sure maybe you can pop the pieces off and do some exchanging. I'm not going to do that, but yeah, either these are a toss-up. I think in the bot mode, Jazz is just pretty much overall, I think, a toss-up to me. He's just as good in either one. Now, the Legacy United for my Jazz in robot mode, the joints are tighter and a little bit stiffer, and the legs tab in better to the knees. The shins do to the knees, and the Studio Series 86 original one does. So I think a little bit better quality is on the Legacy United. For me, your mileage may vary. It could just be per copy. That mine is a little bit tighter on the joints. Overall, I think I like them both. I think this one's going to stay in vehicle mode for me. I'm going to leave this one here in robot mode. So let's get to my final thoughts on this Autobot 5-pack. Right, so final thoughts. Yes, they are in vehicle mode. Hound so far is in robot mode, because I want to talk about a few points on Hound here. With the goldish yellow paint, orangish yellow paint here around the slots for the tabs. If you keep misaligning the tabs and trying to force his arms in when you transform to vehicle mode, there can be paint scrapage over time, because you'll be hitting that. You could be knocking off some of this orange yellow paint here, so that could be a problem. I also want to show this off because the gun here is a little loose. When I put it in this here, it's just easy to come out. It's very wobbly. This side here is actually tighter, so I'm just letting know my right side for it is loose, left side's tight. So I'll transform him and put him in vehicle mode for the rest of my final thoughts. Alright, so 110 bucks for this 5-pack set. Is it worth it? Honestly, yes, if you don't have all the characters. Now, most people have 4 out of the 5, and everybody's just wanting the G1 Hound. Yeah, you wait a couple years, he probably will eventually come out in a single pack. And you can just get the D-Man and paint him up if you're good at those kind of skills. But for people who are late to the game or just starting collecting, being able to get 5 Transformers for 110 bucks, which comes out to like $22 a figure, so you're getting them for actually less than what they are in retail, because they retail for like 25 bucks. You're saving money getting 5 excellent G1 Transformers from the 1984 cast: Jazz, Trailbreaker, Wheeljack, Sunstreaker, and Hound, and you're getting these without some of the problems the originals came out with. Sunstreaker is all more uniform. He's got the same coloring all the way through. Same with Wheeljack. He's also not that dirty white. You get actual weapons with Wheeljack and Sunstreaker. Even though they're not actually tied to them, you do get extra guns. You know, they came with Minerva and they came with medics. We now, at least now, they are able to have a rifle and their back piece or their shoulder cannon, which is needed for the characters, for their silhouette, for their way they actually look. Trailbreaker is really good. He's more of the gray coloring. I like it. A lot of tune accuracy going on here. And Jazz, overall, he's still pretty cool. So I'm very pleased with this set. And if you don't like translucent plastic, this set is for you. And it's a good way to either upgrade your current roster or get into collecting and get 5 Autobots in one fell swoop. Anyway, thanks for watching this comparison time review. Until next ones. Peace out.